Alright, here we go. We're back. Thing looks like it's running okay. Let's bring the stream back up. Right. Let's head on out, see what happens. Now, when I'm playing World of Warcraft, I don't like to load my quest log down with missions. I just like to go talk to a guy and then go do the mission and come back. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time just getting everything I see and then running out, getting it done and running back. Yes, not a lot of fun for me. I like taking my time. Now, one thing that kind of concerns me is that Warlock, Demonologist, especially, is kind of tankier, especially at the lower levels, and there's a lot that the Demonologist can do while playing that I'm not sure if the Shadow Priest can do. So it's going to be kind of trying. And talk to.
Speak quickly.
Now, the masculine name for that is Linnaeus, so I guess the feminine would be Linnei. It also can be pronounced Linnai. Forsaken duty, Magistrate Severin wants a report. Very well, the defenders at the bulwark are holding the majority of the scourge at bay, but some do slip through on occasion. We have seen sporadic scourge activity east of this station, with a concentration around the Balner farmstead.
Embrace the shadow.
It's the Skinner trainer and leatherwork trainer. Now, the last episode, the professions we gave her were mainly gathering skills, herb gathering, herbalism, and mining. And walk back to the base. Main thing we're focused on is doing odd jobs and building up our reputation in the area. Hold on. This guy right here. This guy went.
Hello.
The chill of death. It's so cold now, the plague of undeath crawls through my veins like an icy serpent. The mindless state will be upon me soon, but no doomed destiny will prevent me from serving our Dark Lady. When the call arose, I sewed body bags for the fallen soldiers of Sylvanus' mighty army. Now my hands shake from the chill. If you would bring me 5 duskbat pelts, I could sew myself a blanket. Help me, Furry Shadow, so that I can continue to serve the cause. Yes, the cause.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
The underlying stories here going on, which I don't think a lot of people have picked up on, and the people that haven't played Warcraft 3, is that the Forsaken are kind of like a faction within a faction, and they were sort of stuck there. I guess mainly by the developers, because there wasn't really a place for them to fit. They weren't really Horde, and they weren't really Alliance. And when they were developing World of Warcraft, they were developing Warcraft 3 at the same time. And the later half of Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, deals mainly with the story of the Forsaken and how they escaped tyranny from Arthas. And they were sort of abandoned by the Alliance, and through reluctance they were accepted into the Horde, and then under Thrall's leadership they sort of thrived, I guess, and it was pretty okay, but then he left after the stuff with the Burning Legion, and he went on to be a shaman, right? And so he turned over the leadership to Rosh Hellscream, who was the son of what's his name? I know his name. Doomhammer Hellscream, and he was big in gaining the independence for the Horde. So at the end of Warcraft 3, you had this huge. The orcs went to Kalimdor, and that's where they befriended Tauren, and in some aspects the Pandarians. And through Thrall, they became this society mainly around the big three: the orcs, the Tauren, and Troll. And so the Forsaken and the what is it? The goblins were really like neutral factions, and the Forsaken weren't really against the Alliance, other than they sort of abandoned them. That was my take on it. And basically, these people were uprooted, killed, and then forced to serve the Lich King. And then he lost control of them, basically. And then he went in hibernation for like 5 years. And in that time, they gained their independence and sort of they broke away from the other scourge. And when they sent emissaries out to join the Alliance, because most of them were human, except for Sylvanus and the Murlocs that fought with him. Majority of them were humans. They were citizens of Lordaeron, which is this lost of Lordaeron is the sort of essence of those people. And so um, they were kind of a society that was stuck. And they were small and tiny. So their mindset is when the World of Warcraft comes around, they know that the Lich King is going to return, and they don't want to become prisoners to that again, nor do they want to fall under tyranny. And they sort of want to rule themselves. And so they made allies with the Horde. And even in the very beginning of the game, they explain that you're really a partnership of convenience rather than a true partnership. Oh, we got this power. We need to change these up. So, when this story starts, it's after the cataclysm in the game. Those people just starting World of Warcraft. If you played straight through Warcraft 3 and come straight into Warcraft, now there's a hole in the story because they removed and from a story's point of view, they removed all the classic stuff out of there overnight when the Cataclysm came out. So one of the things that they're going to do when they put the classic Warcraft back in the game is that they're going to restore those story elements which are kind of gone. And you kind of see that when the movie Warcraft came out. Most of the people who are in their mid-20s now were young children 15 years ago. The person who's 25 now, they would have been 10 when World of Warcraft came out, which is the 4th expansion in the series when you think of it. Warcraft 4. But there were 3 other games before that, and there was a lot more story that went on before that. And when Warcraft the movie came out, you could really see that there was a split in the sort of Warcraft universe. The people who are in their mid-20s, they were like, what is this movie about? Who are all these people? Why are they important? But for those of us who were around, I was 23 when Warcraft came out, and I played through Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. I personally think Warcraft 2 was the better of the 3 Warcraft games because it really made Blizzard a company that it is. It kind of set the tone for the story. It kind of pushed them in that direction. I don't think at that time they were thinking about making World of Warcraft, but it took them 10 years to develop World of Warcraft, basically. And when EverQuest came out, which was sort of in the middle of that period, 1998, I think they were already going in that direction as a company, but then they're all right, we're going to do it at that point. And most of all the stories taking place in Cataclysm really come about from Warcraft 3. But if to really know Warcraft, you have to go all the way back to the first 3 games, which a great many players in the game have no idea what even occurred in Warcraft 2. You hear a lot of people out there quoting things because they read Wikipedia, which Wikipedia is wrong. They refer to things that really happened in Warcraft 2 that they think occurred in Warcraft, but anyway. Cataclysm comes out where this story begins. This is what these people are talking about. This is after the Lich King died, Arthas, and Sylvanas went and threw herself off the ice-crowned citadel. And in that time, Gorosh Hellscream starts his campaign, basically. And he's starting to consolidate the Horde into what he calls the true Horde. And he starts to use the Forsaken as a tool, basically. There's a battle going on, he'll send Forsaken out there to do all the main dying, keeping his forces fresh. And that's sort of what he was using the Forsaken at. While Sylvanas was away dealing with, she threw herself off the Ice-Crown Citadel. She was kind of in the underworld for a while. The Shadowlands, I guess, would it be? Died. And, but she back to deal with them, and they are, Hellscream already committed the Forsaken to invading, the Ghanaian area. Because up until Cataclysm, this area was closed off. There was a huge wall and no one knew what was going on. But if you were following Warcraft 2, Warcraft and Warcraft 2, the Ghanaians go back to that period. And they closed themselves off, basically, and this is why Terracefield Glades and all these other western plaguelands end up falling to Arthas. Lordaeron fell because prior to that, Stormwind had fallen, and they came and they settled in this region, and they united to stop what they thought was the Horde invasion, which they did. And then the Horde escaped with Grawl, and that's how Warcraft 3 starts as a game, and explain him, Hexar, and so forth. They go on and they establish the Horde area in Kalimdor. While all that's going on, all this stuff is going on with Stormguard. The fall of that, Arthas turning, becoming the Lich King. But at the end of Cataclysm, Garrosh was setting in motion his desire to create the new Horde. Well, parallel to that, Sylvanas creates what she calls the new Forsaken. And it's not that much different than the older Forsaken. The only difference in what they're doing is that they're focused on preserving their culture beyond what they are at the time, which is a small faction of people. And they're in a very vulnerable state. And so she seeks out the ability to create immortality with the Forsaken and herself. And that's sort of where the story here begins. That's why they create the Blight. The new Blight is different than the old Blight. We're looking for some bats. Gotta kill these bloodhounds anyway, so might as well knock this guy out. Shields up. Who's that guy? He's a Ghanaian. If you haven't played the Ghanaian side of the story, there's a huge battle that takes place, but we haven't gotten that part of the story yet. As far as you know, the Worgen rogue roaming Terrace Fall is a new development. This is something that Executor Saigon would certainly be interested in. At the beginning of Cataclysm, the Forsaken are ordered by Gorash Hellstream to take Ghanaian. So that's what Sylvanus military is a military commander. That's what she's focused on. One more of those. Let's go ahead and got this spore on. What I like with the Forsaken area, where it's different than the other areas of the game from a starting point of view, is that it's a quieter story than the other ones. You're sort of out on your own. There's no real help for you. Not a lot of people in this area. That's kind of what the Forsaken are. In the story. Goes up. And smite him. There you go. It's bad over there.
It's too far away.
Now I believe how this works is, this is your damage over time power. This is your smite instant damage, and this mitigates damage to your character. And if damage gets through, this button kills you. Basically. So we got our pelts. Let's go ahead and grab a dust hound. Hopefully we run into one on our way back. So when you're starting the game as a Forsaken, from a role-playing point of view, you have to do so understanding that you're sort of at war with everybody. A continuous state of war with the living people. Because they're all against you, really. When you think of it. And it might sound selfish saying it as a living person, but when you think of it, you're on a planet Azeroth, right? And there's all kinds of people living on there, but the living beings all feel that they're the ones that make all the rules. They're the ones that make all the law. So, by default, as a Forsaken, you're already like a criminal in their society. From a political science point of view, you're already starting out as a villain in their society. So, if they dream up any reason, they'll try to kill you. And Battle for Azeroth, I think, kind of explores that in that no one had interest in becoming allies with the Forsaken until what's his name plunged a big sword into Sylvanas, thus giving Sylvanas access to Azerite. Right? It wasn't an accident that Sagaris put the sword into Sylvanas. He could have put the sword anywhere in the planet, but he chose to do it to give
I
Sylvanas
haven't got all day.
the Azerite. Right? So Anduin, in the book Before the Storm, he writes this letter to Sylvanas, having this day which he hopes will lead to peace.
Goodbye.
It sort of does, but it doesn't change the history that the humans, I want to say forsaken, they basically tossed away as they were trash.
I haven't got all day.
Now, because they have access to the most powerful resource in the planet.
Beware the
universe.
living.
Well, it's not the universe, because we know that there's far more powerful thing in the universe than Azrite. But, for everything to refresh here. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Get rid of these shoes. Wand. Got a wand. Go ahead and sell this stuff.
I am forsaken.
He's not a
Watch your back.
trainer, so another worker. This guy. Sorry, he's a supplier. He can't repair anything. We're gonna go here and get a fishing rod.
Hello.
Never mind. Let's just go ahead and sell. Well, we'll hold off on the fishing.
Trust no one.
You hear the torches in the behind the salesperson there, like a raging fire. And head back to the magistrate. But part of what we're doing in this area is leading us to deal with the Ghanaian issue, which is going on as I'm walking through the area here. But now normally when I play my warlocks and my warlock alts, I normally stay in Eastern Kingdom and just follow the story progression through here, and then from here I go to the Outland and here and continue on, because that's how the Burning Crusades goes on. But what I want to do with this character just differently is, once we get done doing the main stuff here, I'm gonna go over to Kalimdor and do all the horde stuff in here, mainly because I want to progress at the rate of the pets, because all my pets are behind. If you look at my pets, they're like second to refresh here. Here it goes. All my pets are 8, 7, and 5. This guy's level 8. It's level 5. It's still level 3 guy, right? So I want to train up these guys. So where? Which one's this? So I want to follow the progression so that I can level up with my alts, the pets, because these guys aren't really in a hurry to level. And then my main character, the warlock I'm using for Battle for Azeroth, his pet will be able to be used. Because he's using the same pets. So, be able to use his pets as he's going along. And he'll be able to take advantage of some of the quests in the area for pets, for the world quest, that he can't really do right now. A lot of World of Warcraft for new people is sure you want to level as fast as you can. You want to get good gear. Raids are fun, dungeons are fun, but a lot of the game is based around building your reputation up as a character, because your character has to form relationships with other people in the story, the NPCs, and you're building up your legend in the game, and by doing jobs for people, that's how you gain reputation. Let's deliver this report to this guy.
What would you ask of death?
The Scarlet Crusade is encroaching on our homeland. Foolish zealots do not realize that the loyal servants of the Dark Lady shall see to their demise. Escaped from Gilneas. Yes, that makes sense. Since the Worgen have come streaming out of Gilneas, I knew it would only be a matter of time before they arrived here in Terrasfall. Annihilate the Worgen. These Worgen must be dealt with, and quickly. Our first priority is to eliminate any which may have infiltrated Brill. I want you to be on the lookout for any suspicious activity here in Brill. Furry Shadow, we know that these Worgen can hide in the shadows, so look for any signs you can find. Footsteps, kicked up rocks, anything. Kill 5 Worgen.
Embrace the shadow.
You can do that. Let's go ahead and this guy right there.
I need a target.
The guy right there walking. See his footsteps. But really, Forsaken aren't like, let's be everybody's friend kind of society. They're more of everyone hates us society. Can't trust the living. The livings are just out to kill us, basically. this way. Not everybody's lucky like the humans, where everybody wants to be loved. In this society, everybody wants to get along. That's not what the Forsaken are. Turn to the magistrate. It is troubling to hear of the scourge slipping past the bulwark. Even now, they are ceaseless in their assaults. We will not give in. The Lich King is dead. We will not be taken again.
Our time will come.
Of course, you're probably saying I could have took the Hearthstone back to the in there, but what's the fun in that? Organ right there. Shields up. Right there. Yeah, I killed him with my staff.
Speak quickly.
Furry Shadow, you return. Do you have our supplies from the Undercity? We do. Good work, Furry Shadow. These weapons will ensure our death guards don't get caught unprepared. You have done a valuable service for our Dark Lady.
Remember, patience, discipline.
The dead shall serve.
You have collected the Darkhound blood yet, Furry Shadow? Time is fleeting. You have done well, Furry Shadow, and I thank you for your efforts. Holland's experiments. I am to understand that another one of those foolish dwarven mountaineers has just been captured. The Death Guard has him stored here in this building, and they've assigned one of their own to persuade him not to escape. Why don't you go see how this captured mountaineer enjoys this special drink I made for him? It contains a subtle hint of what the Dark Lady has planned for the rest of Azeroth. Of course.
This had better be good.
The Scarlet Crusade is encroaching on our homeland. The foolish zealots do not realize that the loyal servants of the Dark Lady shall see to their demise. To think I've been right under our noses. I'll put my death guards on alert. This will not happen again.
Our time.
Fine. Yeah. The mace. Can't do that. Mace. Six. Gonna trade this mason for that mace. This over here. And sell that. Right. Where's the mountaineer? What I was saying about Anduin writing that letter was that the only reason they sought peace was because they didn't want the Forsaken having that power, and they didn't know what that power was. Had they not had that power, they would not have sought for peace. Holland's experiment. Why, if I had my trusted rifle, you'd be as good as dead, priest. Just wait until the steam tank brigade arrives to rescue me. Ah, drink at last. What matter of ale is this? I'm sure it's no Rhapsody malt, but I'll take anything to wet the old whistle at this point. I can't handle his liquor. Like a dwarf, he's a fallen drunk. Little booze in the body and they slobbering all over the floor. You don't see the Forsaken dying on the floor because of little booze.
This better be good.
As you're probably already realizing, the Royal Apothecary Society is a widespread organization. Take our plague epidemic seriously. It is our belief that the more agents we have performing experiments, the sooner we will realize our objective. One of our agents performs his work at the small encampment to the north of here. His name is Jared, and he could use an apprentice of your stature. Thorn in the side. It's a place to the south, a place to the north. We'll do the place in the south first. First, we gotta sell stuff.
What is it?
How much is that? 9 silver? Let's go ahead and buy that. Herb pouch. Okay, there we go.
Do not seek death.
Go head south. Deal with these guys. Come back. Probably make level 10. And deal with those guys later. There's a pet over here. The main thing on the map is that wagon. Let's go deal with this guy. Your city cockroaches be useful. Right on with their thing. One thing that's different that I've noticed at this point between the priest and warlock is there's not a lot of preparation that the priest needs to do that the warlock has to do, like soul stone, health stone, put your pet out, what pet do you need? But at level 9 you wouldn't have a pet. But a lot of maintenance you have to do on a warlock. At least I haven't gotten that far in the priest to know about that. But how are we doing on gold? Silver. Moving up. Stream looks really good. According to this, we dropped 1,609 frames, which is 1.7% of our quality. And it's saying we're overloading the stream. It's kind of silly. It's only 2,247. We're at it's set at 2,000 bit rate, and somehow we're overloading the video. I'm gonna do something. I wanna adjust this down a bit. Hold on.